would like to recommend a book to every student in this room. This book is Ishmael. It was written in 1992 by Daniel Quinn. I wouldn't say that I'm an overly big reader of novels, but I believe that every student should read this book before graduating high school. The message is as clear as day and should be seen as an important one in today's society. The story begins with the narrator seeing an ad in the newspaper that read, "Teacher seeking pupil, must have an earnest desire to save the world." This caught the narrator's attention, and he saw the teachings promised in this ad. The teacher ends up being an extremely well-read and well-informed gorilla that opens the narrator's mind to understanding a huge fault in human society. The novel goes on to explain that human supremacy is a cultural myth, and modern society is increasingly living that myth. The myth can be told with the use of one word: entitlement. Entitlement is a guarantee of access to benefits based on established rights. In a casual sense, the term entitlement refers to a notion of belief that one or oneself is deserving of some particular reward or benefit. If given without deeper principled cause, the term is often used with a negative connotation. In Ishmael, this ideology of entitlement is described as an unnatural sense of worth, a false premise created by the mind of humankind. Going even further, Ishmael demonstrates that entitlement is more than just a simple provision. In fact, it shows that mankind believes itself to be entitled to the world. The story of creation is an example of a reason people culturally believe that the world belongs to them. I do not wish to bash religion in any way. However, at this point in time, does it not seem ridiculous that this universe was created just for us? Take a trip a little further in the future from creation, and we find a culture that believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and everything else revolved around it. Seems like a stupid thing to think now, doesn't it? So why does it seem that today, people act as though they were part of that culture, but instead of Earth being the center of the universe, every individual is the center of the world? Our community has taken entitlement and driven it straight up the path to narcissism. Now, if your thoughts have gone off towards lunch, or the homework you forgot to do, or your college town, I ask you to please pay attention. The next few things I have to say, I believe them to be important to the success and happiness of every individual in this room. Really, it seems absurd that I would have to say something like this. However, here at Tilton School, it seems that we all believe ourselves to be superior to the person sitting next to us. There's a sense of arrogance that sits in this room like a thick cloud of smog. Just because you can squat every weight in the mark, or sink three-pointers every time without fail, or score far down from the far blue, does not make you any better than anybody else. Moreover, nothing can ever entitle us to have lack of respect seen every day around here. Why don't I shoot out an example in case you aren't convinced? Let's go back to the tubing trip a couple of weeks ago. I recall some students yelling to the bus driver, "Hey, turn the radio on!" No please, no thank you. Not even in the form of a question. Simply a command in a tone of voice that said, "I'm important, so you owe this to me." How can anyone believe that something is just owed to them? Would we expect to get a respectable grade on a test if we go in knowing absolutely nothing on the subject? It would be nice, but a completely absurd scenario. And what could possibly make any other situation to be any different? I'll confess that I'm guilty of taking things for granted in my life, just as much as the next person is. But I'm not proud of it, because this mindset and behavior is like that of a toddler, an egocentric toddler that believes that everything is his, that the only thing of any importance in the world is himself. This campus is rampant with overgrown toddlers, a community of individuals so self-centered that as if we believe that we should be the center of all attention. We need to get over ourselves. We are not owed anything. Life is not fair. So we have to stop being deadbeats and go create some opportunities. It's not all about the hands we shake. It's about what leads us to shaking those hands in the first place. I made an example of Tilton School, when really, entitlement is an issue in the whole of society. We are the future leaders of society. Within the next few years, it will be us creating and solving the problems of the world. Ishmael asks us the fate of society if it cannot pull itself together and lose this sense of entitlement. Adding to this, I think we should look at our all-school question. What will it take to create a community of respect, civility, empathy, and justice. This is not a series of words put together aimlessly. If we put ourselves up to the task, I truly believe that it is possible to obtain this type of community. The only thing that stands in our way is our sense of entitlement. However, if we can remember that life has its inconveniences, we are not owed anything, and that it takes hard work to obtain success, we have hope in improving ourselves. What would then prevent the people leaving this community to have an effect on the rest of society? It only takes an individual to make a difference. But a community can change the world. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Let that change begin here at Tilton School. Thank you.